Welcome to In the Loop On Air, the only fan-sourced podcast produced by and starring its fans. Starring Clint Novak, Alyssa.
For 2 years, Kings Dominion has been celebrating their 40th anniversary, and today we'll be celebrating the new and improved Soak City. My name's Alyssa Baird, and we're going to take an exclusive look at Soak City. So let's go check it out.
Roller coaster expert Reese Atkins.
In front of Kings Dominion 2 Ride Delirium. I have a source, and his name is Clint Novak. He has told me that in this grassy field behind me, there will be a 200-foot launched RMC roller coaster built in 2017. I have an official Kings Dominion representative, star of the hit show Open Mic Karaoke, Chris Craig, here to confirm or deny the rumors. It's not happening? Chris says it's not happening.
Don't forget Randall. And of course, you. And now, here's your host, Clint Novak.
Welcome to your Monday evening. My name is Clint Novak, and welcome to In the Loop On Air. What is going on? Reese, you just popped up.
I'm here. What's going on?
Right on time.
Yeah, right there, right just as we made it in. Of course, as you saw the intro, you look down. I feel like I'm not in the camera. Like something's going on here.
Oh boy. Such a high production intro, and then get it together.
See, this is what you get. We only did a 15-minute pre-show today, so I was a busy guy today. I was all over the place. Yeah, we have this nice intro. We have all the hosts being introed, and none of the hosts were on the show except for me. And then Reese just pops up last minute as
in the middle of my intro.
In the middle of his intro, also, boop, there's Reese. So yeah. So quick introductions going around the table. We got Kenny checking in from Chicagoland. How you doing, Kenny?
Hey. What's up with that? You got this big fancy high production intro, and then none of your cast. You had to go to the farm league and bring up all the.
It was bad, and it happened yesterday. It was like everybody backed out, and I was like, okay. Well,
all the co-hosts came to their senses, huh? You finally chased them off?
Yeah, and it's funny, too, because I was like, well, let me post this on Facebook. Maybe some of my industry friends will jump in. And no, I got you guys. So.
Yeah, you did not get the industry friends.
This may be a B-list cast, but I'm here. I'm redeeming the whole show. Let's do it.
There you go. Some would view On Air as the B-list cast. There's In the Loop, and then there's In the Loop On Air.
More like the star you just happen to roll across.
Yeah, there you go. So,
just kidding.
All right, so we got Reese, we've got Kenny, we've got Andrew, and this is Andrew's first time on the show. How are you doing today, Andrew?
I'm doing good. I guess, like Kenny said, I was brought up from the farm leagues for this, but I'm glad Reese kind of snuck in. Kenny invited me on, and I was worried during the pre-show. No Clark Duke was there, and he's like, dude, you gotta come on the show, Clark Duke, all-time celebrity movie stars there. And I was like, oh, sweet, I love his movies, so glad you can make it, man.
He made it.
You know, one time I actually tricked a Buffalo Wild Wings waitress into thinking I was Clark Duke. It's hilarious. I swear, I promise you that happened.
I'm sure. Did you at least get something free?
I didn't, because one of my douchebag friends spoiled it before it was over. I was going to start signing autographs, but he messed it up.
You know what we need to do? Coaster Radio has Neil Patrick Harris. In the Loop tried to get Penn Jillette. I say we just start from this point on referring to Reese as Clark Duke and see if Clark Duke ever messages us pissed off. Like, that's not Clark. I'm Clark Duke.
Why don't you guys just start tweeting at him?
Yeah, change your Twitter handle to not Clark Duke.
Can I just say that Clark Duke, his track record, all I know that he has been in, he was on the total tank failure that was Hot Tub Time Machine 2.
Oh, yeah.
Awkward, not funny guy on The Office. So
he did kill The Office. I was a huge Office fan, and all of a sudden he showed up and it got awkward real fast.
I think he came around the same time that we lost Michael Scott, and I think that was, even though Michael Scott I felt was the worst character of the show. Like, I hated him.
I
did not like him. The only reason I stuck around is to see what would happen to Jim and Pam. That's the only reason I stuck around. It's like, this has to work. 7 seasons. Let's do it.
But Michael Scott was at least better than Robert California in the last couple episodes. That guy was just horrible.
I loved Robert California. And I want to say further, Michael Scott was cringy in the first 2 seasons, I think, but after that, he was incredible.
Once he started laying down all the pop culture references and stuff.
The worst part about that show is the stupid phrase, and that's what she said. And if I hear one person say it, I scream and want to punch him in the face. And I have to say, my wonderful boss, Chris, says it all the time.
Hope you're not punching your boss.
No, I haven't. Not yet. I
haven't got to that point.
He does watch the show, so I don't know if he's watching tonight. But be prepared if I punch you in the face. You know what? So when we went to IAPA, and we, obviously when you go as a company, we hung out a lot, and the whole time it was that's what she said. Jokes on the way to the airport and the whole trip, and I couldn't get him to stop. It was horrible. Just horrible. So we got Andrew. Andrew, you live in Orlando, and
I do. I live. I actually just moved. I moved right behind Magic Kingdom, so I'm about 2 miles or so behind Magic Kingdom. Can hear the fireworks. Haven't been able to figure out if I can see them yet, but.
Is that the same place that Drew and Legend used to live, or is that further down?
This is farther down. I actually used to live where they lived, like back in the day.
I love how he almost said the street, and he was like, "No, I'm not going to do it."
Yeah. No, I live farther. I live farther back. So if you stayed on that winding road to get to their place, you just keep going a few more miles. So.
Wow, I miss the winding road because that was always the first stop of my trip was to drop off whatever I needed to drop off at their house because I was crashing at usually the Legends.
Yeah.
And I have spent the night at his new place on the couch there, and very nice and very fancy, but it's just not centrally located to the parks like his old place was. So.
Yeah, no, I actually just moved. I used to live. I spent 5-6 years living in the tourist area, and then I moved to downtown Orlando to try to get away from all the tourists, and just moved back to this side of town. So glad to be really close to Disney and all that stuff. So.
Awesome. And the elephant in the room, and the title of the show. This is like the live crew coming back right here. You guys, your show kind of went off the air.
And now it's back on air.
Yeah. Okay. So it's great to have you guys back on the show, and we're gonna have some fun. And then of course we've got the guy with the good humor bars back there, Jason, hanging out. Jason, what's up?
Hey guys.
Jason, all the way from New Jersey.
New Jersey.
We've already got some people in the chat saying, like father, like son. It's incredibly inspiring to me to have my own father here on the show. So, Jason, you've taught me so much over the years. And if I can make you a fraction of as proud as you make me every day, then my life has been accomplished. Thank you. Thank you, Dad.
I am insulted. I did not receive a Father's Day card from you. And I am insulted. So you're on my bad list right now.
Call him or text him or send him a tie or something. Come on.
Wow.
Wow, and you know what? I'm happy to say we have Gavin back in the chat. Our moderator who's been gone for like 4 or 5 episodes.
He wasn't even our moderator. He was our moderator for 1 episode, and then he just bailed after he came in on the Coaster Studios episode, and he was
screw this. I'm never coming back. Wow, yeah, we got who do we have in the chat tonight there, Reese?
Looks like we got Christopher Keith. He's a guy.
We've got a great video coming up from Chris today.
By the way, Christopher Keith posted one of those copy and paste long things about how he was being shipped off to prison and how those like fake things.
I've seen like 4 of them in the last 2 days.
And then at the last sentence, it's like, "'Cause this is all fake." I read the whole thing thinking it was real. I totally felt
The first one I saw, I read like 4 lines, and I almost private messaged the person saying, "What in the hell is going on?" And then I was like, "Let me see some comments." Maybe they said something in the comments, and then the roll on the floor and stuff like that. I was like, "What's going on? This isn't funny." And then I went back and read it, and I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, it's still not funny, but."
We also have Kevin Shoup, Ryan Wilcox, Ranger. some other people. I don't. Joshua Amos.
Now, we bring up Kevin Shoup. We can't bring up Kevin Shoup without bringing up alcohol. And this is a drinking podcast tonight because we're putting away the good humor bars, or not in Jason's sense, and everybody's drinking. What do you guys got? Kenny's the first one to hold it up. What do you got?
I got a Wisconsin beer. It's called New Glarus Spotted Cow. You can only purchase it in Wisconsin, and it's fantastic. And if you look closely, it looks like that cow is humping the state of Wisconsin. Not quite sure what's going on there, but it doesn't matter. It's delicious.
Wow. All right. And Andrew?
I got a Yingling. I know. Kenny and I were hanging out at Cedar Point like 2 weekends ago, and he was talking about how you can't get Yingling in his home turf of Chicago. So that got me like, man, yeah, Yingling's great. So I went back and purchased a nice big case of Yingling. Been going through that. So
Attaboy.
We're lucky enough to have that down here.
Wow. And even Jason, he got jealous and ran to his refrigerator. What do you got?
I just have Budweiser. That's all I had.
Oh, savage.
Savage.
I usually have better.
I'm drinking Minute Maid lemonade.
This is ridiculous because I am 19, and I'm a light drinker. I will have a drink occasionally at a social gathering. I probably shouldn't be admitting that here live on but I don't care at all. Come arrest me. You
didn't specify what drink. You could have very well just been drinking soda.
Very true.
Virgin daiquiris.
Yeah, but so I'm not a person who gets drunk often. However, this show would be so much more entertaining if I was.
I beg to differ. I feel like if you were drunk, this would be out of control. Like I would be able to ring you in.
Yeah. I would like to see you drunk versus
about B&M coasters. Oh my!
So get him drunk and get Drew the intern drunk. Because last time we had Drew drunk on one of these things, he pulled out a knife and was like,
"Yeah, that was not good. That was not good."
Yeah, to illustrate his point about I forget what. Bad policies at a park, he decided to pull a knife out. So
the real reason In the Loop Live is gone is because we were quite frankly afraid we were going to get arrested after the last show that went on. It was a disaster. Anybody who happened to be watching that knows what happened. We don't need to talk about it anymore.
We went down in flames in a good way.
We have not even started talking about roller coasters, and I'm going off topic. Okay.
I was gonna say I'm sorry. I'm here. Last time I was here, it was a disaster through and through. I'm trying to behave.
The last time you were here, it was an hour of you talking shit about me. It has been that the whole way since. It hasn't slowed down.
Okay. So, for any of you who are longtime listeners and viewers, you know that I do not drink, and I definitely don't do any recreational drugs or smoke or anything like that. I drink very occasionally, and it has to be girly and fruity to the point where you can't taste it. It's just like the alcohol. I can't taste the alcohol. The alcohol is nasty to me.
I'm kind of the same way.
So, now, the story is, back in Minnesota, when I first became a radio DJ, or still was trying to become a radio DJ, this is the downfall of the show right here. This was last time, just Clark Duke picture.
All right, I'm done. I'm sorry.
Oh no, we're not done. This is going on. Continue, I'm sorry.
I'm going to continue. You guys keep doing whatever you're doing. Okay. Right. There was another radio DJ that I was working with who had a roommate who was the station manager of a cable access television station in Minnesota. All right, that's as specific as I'm going to get. So they decided, he was on the air till midnight, and they decided that they were going to start doing a live show from 1 a.m. to 3 a.m. And see if they could get callers to call in. So it was kind of like a sit-down talk show. What is that? Was this supposed to be?
God damn it, Reese!
You're out of his nose. All right, so they were in charge of this cable access show, and so they decided that they were going to get drunk, go live on the air, and take questions that were kind of questionable, like maybe how to beat a drug test, or how to do all this stuff. And so I was the producer. Legally, you have to have a sober person in charge of the live feed if it's going over the air. So I was the only sober person in charge of the live feed. And I think we did it 3 times before the police actually showed up at the television station and shut us down. But the last episode was in one corner of the screen was 2 girls making out the whole time. Well, they talked about different ways to pass a drug test.
Nice.
So that was us and the police actually showing up to and I had to say I was in charge because I was the sober person. Where they're like, we need to know who is in charge of the live feed. Well, I guess that's me.
And that was the end of your run in Minnesota, huh?
Yeah.
You ended up leaving?
Yeah.
Still running from the law?
Exactly. I changed my name and everything. Clint Novak. Do we lose Reese? Did you shoot him? You're like,
Good.
oh, get rid of him.
Good.
They're filming Hot Tub Time Machine 3. He had to go.
All right, with that said, we have to get to some videos. We're going to get to some videos. We got Ariel checking in from Dorney Park, Ranger, Lucas, Chris, Christopher Keith, Chad, Carter. We're going to be doing some check-ins. And also, sometime during the show, we're going to talk to Kenny and Andrew about their trip to Cedar Point. And you guys did their version of the Busch Gardens coaster tour up there with Val Raven, huh?
It was fantastic.
All right, we'll talk
5 hours
up in the show. Randall couldn't make it this week. Randall is working tonight. He said he might check in live from work if he gets a break that works into our window. Also, Alyssa is not here, so filling the part of Alyssa is Jason. So that's why he's on this.
No comment.
No comment.
I'm not going to mention about filling in for Alyssa.
That wasn't creepy at all.
No, that wasn't creepy at all. Would have found that lovely and entertaining. All right, so first of all, we'll tell you how you guys can send in videos. If you guys have a video, all you have to do is shoot the video, upload it to Google Drive, and share it with clintnovak@gmail.com. That's clintnovak@gmail.com. The first video we're going to is Ariel, who's checking in from Dorney Park.
Hi, In the Loop. It's Ariel, and today I'm at Dorney Park. I got here about 5 o'clock, and the park is super empty. I came here a few times when I was younger, and it's great to be back. There are a lot of good coasters like Steel Force and Talon. Steel Force is an awesome ride. I had the front row and the back row. Both were pretty awesome. There's a seatbelt and a lap bar, but the lap bar doesn't go down all the way, so you get a lot of airtime. It's a really nice ride. I think I was like physically abused by Thunderheart. Super bumpy. Demon Drop, because I really missed Freefall at Great Adventure. Hydra is pretty neat because it goes upside down right as it leaves the station before it goes up the lift. Thunder Canyon is an awesome ride if it's a hot day. There are waterfalls and it got me soaking wet. Talon is probably one of my favorite inverted roller coasters. Why does Dorney Park have Harry Potter candy? And amazing looking fudge pops? I want it all. Here's some good humor at Dorney Park. Is it Skyscraper? Is it Windseeker? No, it's just the strings. Wicked Twister at Cedar Point? Nope, I'm at Dorney Park, so it's Possessed. Boomerang? Nope, it's Stinger. Snoopy is my boyfriend.
All right, everybody, that is Ariel checking in from Dorney Park, showing off some of the things. Now, one other thing, again, if you want to shoot the video with your phone, upload it to Gmail or Google Drive, and then share it with clintnovak@gmail.com. Your productions do not have to be as sophisticated as Ariel has been making hers. She does a really good job with editing her videos. You don't have to be that sophisticated, but definitely share it with us, and we would love to share your videos on here. Let's talk Dorney Park. How many of you guys have been to Dorney Park before?
Is that legal? Is it legal that they're selling Harry Potter stuff there? Did we just out them on the on the show here?
You know, I think that is the legal candy because it's not it's Harry Potter branded candy, but they're selling, whoever owns the rights to sell that candy, they're just selling their candy. So. Jelly Belly Beans and stuff like that. It's not the official. I mean, you'll probably find it at Wizarding World as well. But King's Dominion sells it as well. The Harry Potter candy. Andrew, have you been to Dorney?
Yeah, twice. It's so weird because both times I've gone, it was like a Saturday in July, recipe for super big crowds, and no one was there. They're all in the water park. So I think that's probably the best part about that park is there's some great rides there, but the water park just eats up everyone during the day. So if you're not a water park guy, like I'm not, gotta love the rides.
Yeah, and their water park is a really nice water park. I enjoy their water park, but it just has that Geauga Lake effect. You go in there and just nobody is going to the rest of the park. They're all going to the water park. And, so you really get a chance to enjoy the park. Now, Dorney has one of my, I think the underrated coasters, and that's like the Steel Force, Wild Thing, Mamba, those Chance Morgan hyper coasters, and I really, really enjoy Steel Force. So I'm glad that Ariel enjoyed it as well.
That's the one that I would probably be maybe most excited is not the right way to put it, but I'd be really excited to ride that because I'm also a big fan of Wild Thing. I always feel like I'm in the minority when I say that, but I love those as well. I'd be way excited to ride Steel Force.
Yeah, you're talking my backyard there. I grew up with Valley Fair, and I worked at Valley Fair, and those Chance Morgans not only are I feel really good rides, and they're holding up. They're aging very well because they were built in the early '90s.
Yeah, like 95, 97, something like that.
Yeah. So they're holding up really, really well. And they're so roomy. Like when you get in there, each car is.
It's like a bathtub.
I know, you have so much leg room, especially if you're a tall guy, 6'3" like me. You get a lot of knee space. You're not worried about banging around. And if you get the front car, like you could recline and lay down. Like it's first class in the room.
Yeah, they're hideous as hell, but they are roomy. That's for sure. Got somebody in the chat's going to Valley Fair Thursday.
Oh, Coasterzilla.
Very nice.
Coasterzilla.
Yeah,
I'm jealous. I love going up there. I try to get up there once a year. I love Renegade, so I'm not going to sidetrack this whole thing, so sorry. But I have not been to Dorney. No, I have not.
And Dorney also has one of my favorite rides that are no longer at Cedar Point, and that is the Demon Drop. I don't know, is that the right way to say it? I loved Demon Drop, and I was sad to see it go, but glad it stayed in the family. So, I love Demon Drop, and I had a chance to ride it at Dorney as well. It doesn't have the same effect as it does at Cedar Point, but I love the ride. It's a very unique drop ride.
Yeah, I think Dorney is kind of the land of underrated rides. Like you don't got like that signature like awesome like Millennium Force or Maverick or Banshee kind of ride there, but Tailend's fantastic. I know a lot of people don't like Hydra, but I really enjoyed that. I thought that was really cool. And then Steel Force. Then you got like the Impulse coaster, like you said, Demon Drop. So they have probably 6 or 7 like really solid rides that a lot of people just don't talk about.
What's wrong with Hydra that people don't like? Is it just small or?
Small.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was a unique layout. I could see like some people are like, oh, it's smaller, it's short, but I mean, it's different than the typical like B&M, like drop, go through vertical loop, go through a Cobra roll, do a helix, couple corkscrews. It's kind of a different layout, which was kind of fun.
I mean, you Heartline out of the goddamn
I know,
station.
right?
What's to not like about it?
It's because you just fall out of your seat because there's nothing holding you.
JoJo roll. My wife loves that thing. She loves Hydra. She says that's one of her favorite steel coasters. Huh. And it was, she just went there and didn't know anything about it, didn't even know anything, and she just went on it and was shocked and loved it. So Ariel is actually in the chat right now. She says she was at Six Flags New England today, and she likes Steel Force better than Superman at Six Flags. That's crazy right there.
That's crazy talk. Don't say that too loud. The Coaster Boys will be all over you for that.
Now, I would agree with her only in the stance that me getting on any of the Superman coasters, as Six Flags Superman coasters, it's very painful because I'm a tall guy. The restraint comes down, and the way the bars jam on the side of my calves and stuff, it's very, very painful.
Yeah, I was going to say, with the new restraints, or not new, but you know what I mean, like those restraints are horrible, where it's like the U-shaped bars, and they have the ankle straps on you too. It's not as fun.
Yeah.
I guess the standout coaster at Dorney Park is the Stinger coaster, which is the inverted Tacoma Boomerang, which is better than Kings Island's Invertigo. It's better.
He's not even here to defend himself.
Which makes it better.
He just disappeared. His internet finally gave in. His parents unplugged the power.
Good. Show's been that much better.
They heard him talk about drinking.
They were like, "Oh, you sir are grounded."
No internet podcast for you.
Next week's episode title: Reese is ungrounded. Maybe he's not on the show next week. Maybe he'll still be grounded. I don't know. All right, we've got some more videos to get to. Ranger checks in from Six Flags New England. And
Ranger.
Wait, can we just tease it? Like, I haven't seen it, so is it as good as last week's video? Because that was probably one of the funniest coaster videos I've ever seen. Was it last week or 2 weeks ago? The Fiesta Texas one.
That was, I think, a while ago.
Okay. Well, whatever that one with his sidekick, that was probably one of the better videos I've seen. So. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go back and find that in the episode.
Yes. Oh, here's your $50. Yeah. Yeah, Ranger at his finest. You know, now I would probably say if we held awards nightly for the best or funniest video, I don't think Ranger would win this week. Last week he probably took the cake. But this week, I don't know. But let's go check it out. He's at Six Flags New England, where Ariel evidently is today. And let's see what the Ranger has to say.
What's up, guys? It's Ranger, and I'm checking in from Six Flags New England. This is Wicked Cyclone. This is an incredible ride. I strongly recommend coming out here to ride this as soon as you can. It will blow you away. There's a few outside banked airtime hills that are just incredible. You've got this 0G roll that switches directions midway through, a couple more inversions. It's just really fantastic ride.
And that was Ranger's check-in from Six Flags New England. A little upset that we didn't get any.
I was waiting for the punchline the whole way.
You were waiting for whatever it is that he's about to say.
Weak sauce, Ranger.
I was waiting for him to talk about the ride the whole time, and then turn the camera and be like, "Well, actually, I was just talking about whatever. I think there's that spinning coaster right there or something."
Yeah, and it's funny because you were waiting for it the whole time. Like you're like, "Oh, this is going to be really good because it's building up, and oh, okay, that's the end of the video. Okay, never mind."
My favorite Ranger video is still Magic Springs. There was just something magical. No pun intended. There was just something magical about that video. It was
making the park look as fine as it probably really is.
All right. So if you want to send in videos, all you have to do is send them in to clintnovak@gmail.com, upload it to Google Drive, and send it in to me. All right, let's see here. We're already almost like halfway through the videos because we didn't get a lot this week. So got a lot of quality. We got a lot of quality, but we don't have the quantity that we normally have. But that's okay because you guys still have your Cedar Point story to tell. And I want to say what's up to Logan, who checked in from Coaster Kids, who's in the chat room right now as well. So I had a chance to talk to Logan earlier today, and he said, I said something about how Reese hates B&M coasters, and he goes, "You need to ban him from the show for me." So, he is happy.
There you go, Logan. We made it happen. Your wish, our command.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, Reese isn't here. He's banned from the show. Grounded. That's what, grounded. And Jason grounded him.
Yeah.
All right, let's do one more video, and then we'll talk Cedar Point. Okay, I have to do this. We have to. Chris, this would be out of order, but I have to play Chris's video. This video, normally I preview all the videos ahead of time, watch them, and when I watched this, I actually called my wife down to the basement here to show her the video because it was that funny. Okay, I'm not even gonna set it up. I'm just gonna
setting the bar high.
Yeah, we're gonna watch it. I'm gonna find it very funny, and I feel like it's gonna be lost on some people, but I hope everybody finds it as funny as I did. So here we go. This is Chris checking in from King's Dominion.
All right, in the loop on air, it's your boy again, Chris, back again, and I'm finally back home at King's Dominion, and it is so good to be back.
It feels like they've gotten more flowers since I've last been here. I mean, look at those petunias. Sheesh.
Now, don't tell my parents this, but the hardest part about being so far away from Virginia for school was being so far away from Busch Gardens, Funland, King's Dominion and the moon tree. For those of you that don't know, the moon tree was born on the moon in the 1970s and then transplanted to King's Dominion in a huge CIA cover-up. That's why, now that I'm back, I think it's time to give the moon tree a big old hug. At least I think that's the moon tree. Why are there so many trees here? I probably hugged it at some point today.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is Chris. Check it from King's Dominion.
What the fuck just happened?
Clint, tell us there's some inside joke there for being like a King's Dominion fanboy. Like.
Oh, okay. So okay.
Oh, he's back.
Back. He finally is getting reconnected. We thought you were grounded, Reese.
It's his parents probably coming out and tell us that he's grounded.
His picture's back, anyways. Oh,
He's gone. Oh,
boom! Yeah. Jason was like, "No, denied." Okay, so the King's Dominion has a moon tree. The moon tree was a seedling that was brought up for like Apollo. I don't even remember which Apollo number, but it was brought. The seeds were brought up during the Apollo mission, brought back down, and 70 or 140 or some crazy number of trees were then planted all over the United States called moon trees. King's Dominion had two. One of them fell over in a storm like 10 years ago, so we still have one moon tree left at King's Dominion. And it's not marked. There's nothing marking the moon tree. It's just a tree right off of the Midway that nobody knows that it's there except for me going around saying, guys, this is a moon tree right here.
And what I want to say about the moon tree is that when you made that video in 2011 exposing the moon tree, I watched that video and I did not believe you. I still don't fully believe it.
No.
How do you know it's a moon tree?
Because John Pagel told me.
John Pagel.
Pagel? Did he then give you a bagel?
You have to believe John Pagel in order to believe me. But no, so they have the moon tree there. There is some type of record. There's like a record, and a friend actually sent me this from like the Smithsonian because they have like the record of where all the moon trees went. And there is an official record that they did go to. It was King's Dominion, but it wasn't Paramount. It was before then, but the family name or whatever it was. But yeah, it did go there. So they get the moon tree. They plant the moon tree in the park. And there it is. And I did a campaign in whatever he said, like 2011, of people hugging the moon tree. So we were trying to really push the moon tree and people hugging the moon tree. And so I guess Chris had saw that so many years ago and was doing the hugging the moon tree. And it's hilarious because when he first goes, is explaining the story and then hugs the tree, I'm like, that's not the moon tree. And then he looks at it and he was like, I don't think that's it. And then he starts going around the park, and I just started laughing because he's just hugging a free tree.
That's fantastic.
The moon tree, he never hugged the moon tree in any of those. I know exactly what the moon tree looks like. You can tell by the bark that it has, and none of those were the moon tree.
You never found it, huh?
Never found it, no.
That's awesome.
I've pointed it out in like 6 different videos, so if you don't know where it is by now, you obviously are not an In the Loop fan. So,
man.
Yes. So there was a video from Chris, and I'm sorry, I found that absolutely hilarious. So there you go.
That was it.
Yeah. All right. So let's talk Cedar Point. You guys had a chance to go to Cedar Point. Did you guys go for like a weekend trip together? What was this, like a bro date, or what was this?
No, it was actually it just so happened I was heading out with some buddies from Chicago. And we were going to check out the Brew and Barbecue, and Andrew hit me up and was like, "Hey, I'm going to be there that weekend. Was thinking about doing the tour." So it just kind of worked out, and Drew the intern, ended up being there as well. And it turns out, ironically, he accomplished more than me and Andrew combined because he ran a 10K while we were there.
Wait a minute. Which Andrew ran a 10K?
That's right. Drew the intern.
No.
Yes.
Oh, he did. We saw him get passed by all the people while we were standing on top of that.
Yeah, it's funny.
The 10K. He didn't run a 10K.
Well, he was limping around with like a wrap around his ankle later on in the day, so he did do something.
Did he do the whole 10K?
He did. He claimed. What the hell was that? I mean, he claimed to do it, so I would take his word for it. He did text us while we were on top of Valraven. He's like, "I see you," and we're like, "Why aren't you running?"
Keep running.
Yeah, it was at like 7 o'clock in the morning, so there would have been no other reason he would have been in the park. So I mean,
right.
He was wearing his medal later in the day. Now that I think about it, so.
Yeah, he got a participation medal.
Yeah, he at least paid someone off for a medal. So.
Oh man. So let's talk about the Valraven. Now they have a coaster tour. Is it similar to like what Busch Gardens Williamsburg does, where they take like a few hours to go around all the coasters and show you how they work, and then do the Griffin walk, or is you just pay to go up to the top of Valraven?
Well, no, it was super in depth.
We met at like 6:45 in the morning, and it didn't get over till about 11:30. So. It was a full-packed morning.
Yeah, the first thing they did was walk us over to Valraven, and pretty much the first thing we did right off the bat was go up on top of it, and then after that is when they kind of took us around, like, underneath and checked. Like they were getting it ready in the morning. They were like prepping all the water dummies and everything to put on the trains to send them out for testing. They showed us how the transfer track works, which, Andrew, you want to tell that story?
Yeah, so we were standing, under the train in the transfer house, and there's 2 trains, and, there's 3 rows each. So we were, like, probably between the first and second row of the second train back, and all of a sudden we just hear this big rumble and shake, and, like, the train in front of us just starts moving, and they're, like, our tour guide was like, yeah, I don't know if they know we're down here, and they're transferring trains. Like, we were probably like 5 feet from this gigantic train just zipping out of the station. So, but that was really cool. And I think the reason why they, unlike Busch Gardens, they take you to Valraven first is since it is early open. They have to have it ready by 9 a.m. So, for us to be able to get on there, get up to the top, and have some time up top before they start testing, I mean, you have to be up top by 8 o'clock, 7:30. So, that's why we went straight there and did that first, which is cool. That kind of set the tone for the whole day. I'd never been on Valraven before. Kenny, you said you went like the day before on it, but
yeah,
it was really cool. Kind of like I hadn't been to Cedar Point at all this year yet, so like literally my first impression of Valraven was when they walked us there and put us right up to the top. So that's kind of cool that my very first like impression of it was from the top. So kind of like how they did that.
Yeah, and I had ridden it the night before, but I had also participated heavily in Brew & Barbecue the night before, and then I rode Valraven. So basically, I didn't ride Valraven until
first time was.
Yeah, my first time was sober the next morning. But yeah, it was incredible. It's funny, I used to be horrified of heights, and over the years I've gotten better and better about it, and I really thought that I was past my fear of heights, and it turns out as soon as we got out of the elevator on top of the ride, I'm still horrified of heights. That was something.
It was super windy too. I mean, it was to a point where even like, I mean, obviously when you're 200 feet in the air, it's gonna be windy, but on the ground, I mean, we were kind of talking beforehand. We're like, "Ooh, is it too windy? Like, are they going to take us up to the top?" And I mean, we were getting blown around like crazy up top. So
yeah, on the way up in the elevator, you could feel the entire structure swaying back and forth. It was nuts. So I was already starting to get inside my own head before we got out of the elevator. But by far, I'm just gonna come out and say it. By far, the best part of Valraven is the view from up top. Not just standing on it, but when you ride Valraven and you get up to the top, it's an incredible view.
It is, yeah. I mean, it couldn't have been placed more perfect in the park. I mean, literally, it's like dead center in the park, and like especially when you're up there for like 20 minutes, like we were. They didn't like really do anything with us up there. I know, like Busch Gardens takes your photos. They literally just put us up there, like, all right, you guys got like 15, 20 minutes. Let us know if you want us to take your photo up here. And I mean, we just kind of stood there, took it in, filmed video, took photos, and I mean, you really kind of, it's like this is literally in the perfect spot in the park to see everything.
And how much does the coaster tour cost?
So it's $200 if you have a ticket or a pass. $250. That will include admission. But I mean, you do get. Yeah, but I mean, to be fair, you do get a couple perks out of it. So you get a couple fast lane vouchers. They took us into the employee cafeteria for breakfast and said, hey, get whatever you want. So I mean, that was probably, with theme park prices, that's probably like $12-13 worth of food we got there.
Reese has the comments about cafeteria food.
Now, I swear when I did it at Busch Gardens,
you can't really get that wrong.
I feel like I remember it was $80 when I did it at Busch.
It was like $70 or something like that.
Yeah, that's what it is there. Yeah.
Oh, that's expensive. First off, go ahead.
It's possible that it's much cheaper there. I've not done, Andrew. I don't know if you've done the Busch Garden one. What does the Busch Garden one offer?
Okay, so basically you show up. It was phenomenal, by the way. I would do it again. I probably will do it again because it wasn't that expensive. It wasn't $200. But you show up at 7 a.m. and they save the Griffin thing until the end. And I think we went in the Loch Ness Monster Basin. We went in the Alpengeist maintenance area. And what else did we do? Was that? Oh yeah, and we went inside Verbolten's boardroom, inside the Verbolten building. Then we went inside Griffin's boardroom, and then we went up on top of Griffin. And you got a front of the line pass for all the coasters once the park opened as well.
Andrew, I think we got taken to the fucking bank.
Now, even though you did get ripped off, because let's be real, Cedar Point is the biggest rip-off in the Cedar Fair chain. I swear to God, when I was there, I felt like I was getting... I mean, everything there is so expensive, it's absurd. Well, what I want to ask is, I want to ask about the elevator on Valraven, because the elevator on Griffin was this little... It had maybe 12 seats on it, and you would sit in the seat and buckle the seatbelt, and it was facing outward, like you're riding up the lift hill facing this way. And they would only let like 4 people ride it at a time, so we had to come up in waves. So I'm curious to know, did they let the whole group go up at once? How many people were on top of the ride, and what kind of elevator did it have?
It was a very small group. We were only in a group of 5, and the elevator was a very basic... just enclosed. You basically got inside, stood inside.
And hold on to the side.
Exactly. So, yeah, it was. You're saying you were like seated outside of the elevator?
No. So the elevator, I wish I had a picture of it. It was not something you stand in. It was like a staircase with seats on either side of it. And you can see it on Griffin, and you would actually walk up the stairs, walk over, sit down, and buckle the seatbelt and sit in this thing. And it could probably hold, it was like 2 abreast on both sides, and there were like 4 rows or something.
No, this would be like no different than like if you ever been to Luxor in Vegas, where like the elevator goes up sideways. Same thing. Like I mean, we just stood on a flat platform and closed and rode it right up to the top.
Yeah, that's definitely not like Griffin's. Griffin is not. They like he said, it's like you're sitting on staircases that move. Yeah. It's like sitting on an escalator.
But what I did hear from people who've done the Griffin one is they don't. Do they strap you in up top?
No.
Okay. See, here we wore like these like safety harness things, like a big like tool belt kind of thing that we locked into the ride, just like the maintenance guys would, and. They're joking around that since it was so new, we kept like our things kept getting caught because it wasn't like broken in enough for the harness to slide along easily.
You know, I was shocked at how loose they were at Busch Gardens. There was little to no supervision up there, and all they said, when we got up there was one tour guide standing, but it's not like he was watching us, and they just said, don't go past the yellow line. And they actually had a train parked up there on top of the lift hill. Did Valraven have a train up there or not?
No.
No.
Yeah. So
this was so early in the morning that I think they were all still parked.
Yeah, they have a train parked up there, and then at any point you could cross the yellow line and then just jump off of the coaster. I mean, really, there's the safety. It's crazy. Like I was expecting something like Valraven does, like harnesses and stuff. No. They just take you up there and they're like, okay, well, have fun.
Yeah, that's nuts. I feel like the rest of the tour was pretty loose on its safety regulations, but the Valraven portion being up top, they were super strict about. you had to be strapped in with your tool belt, and they had a line painted. It sounds like Griffin's got as well, but you definitely couldn't go past that line, and it was maybe like 10 feet from the edge. You couldn't even walk over and look down the drop or anything. So personally, I was fine with it because, as I said before, I was scared shitless for maybe the first 10 minutes I was up there. So
the scariest part, and possibly the most entertaining part of the Griffin one that does not seem, obviously Valraven does not have, is getting back into the seat from the top. Because this thing is a staircase. You have to walk down it on top, and it's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, they did have that a little bit because the elevator was like 4 or 5 stairs from the actual platform. So
right, yeah.
And the stairs were actually that like metal grate. So like both Kenny and I were like, yeah, okay, cool. We're not afraid of heights anymore. We're like by the end of like the 15 minutes up there or whatever. And then we walk around the side. And she's like, okay, climb down these 4 stairs. The thing's blowing in the wind, and like the stairs as you're walking down, you just see 200 feet down. We're like, at least I was like, yeah, heights, yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy, but
Let me ask Jason something real quick. Jason, out of all the cool things that you've got a chance to do at Six Flags, have you gotten a chance to do like a lift walk or anything cool like that?
I have not. I am also terrified of walking upstairs on a roller coaster. So I don't even know if someone was like, "Hey, do you want to go to the top of the car?" I'm like, I'd probably say no.
That's no stairs though. That's just an elevator.
Yeah. It is an elevator, but
pretty much going to the top of King Dakar is Zoom and Jaro.
You don't have to pay for a tour for that. You just got to stand in a long line.
Yeah, you just actually, if you do the single rider line, it's not even long. You just go on. Yeah, I think the only lift walk I've ever done that I can recall is when I worked at Valley Fair, and I used to operate the corkscrew. So every morning on the top of
all of 50 feet.
Hey, it's like 80, maybe 90. Okay. Ferris wheel was taller, but that's okay. It was still good. So I think that's the only. I did get a chance to do the brake run walk on Dominator at King's Dominion during its construction. So I think that was actually taller than corkscrew at Valley Fair. But
so you're saying the Griffin tour, they give you a front of the line pass for all the coasters as part of it? Oh man.
Even the coasters you don't go to. Like you don't go to like Apollo's Chariot. I'm pretty sure there might be another one. I don't even know what they have there. Tempesto, I think. And you get front of the line to both of those.
So is that a current price or?
Tempesto, I don't know. I did it before Tempesto was there, so.
Huh.
But continue.
Well, I think the current price is somewhere just under $100. Because I remember when they announced the Cedar Point one, a lot of people were like, "Damn, that's a lot more." But I kind of look at it as I think I say this in the video, so shout out to the awesome video Kenny recorded. It's like 50 minutes long. You don't be intimidated by the length. It's really, really good. But I think
when I sit down, I have to measure it by, well, is this going to be like an Avengers movie, or I'll just watch an Avengers movie, or I'll watch this video. So,
it's better.
Avengers always wins.
It's better. But I think I say in the video, like, so I grew up like a lifelong Cedar Point fanboy, so we talked about Valraven and climbing to the top of that, but like after that we're like, tour could be over, we're good, that was awesome, that was incredible. But like for us, at least for me, like the highlights were like the rest of the tour, as silly as that sounds. So like I said, being a huge Cedar Point fanboy, getting to go like the off limits areas that I never got to go, that was really cool and kind of worth it. So, I've been to Cedar Point so many times now. I get to go once a year, and for it to to splurge once to kind of do it and see the park in a different light, I thought it was pretty worth it. I mean, I could see if you go 10 times a year, doing it once a year, you might kind of be whatever. But if you go once a year, once every couple of years, it's probably a pretty cool thing to do.
Yeah, I'm with you. Like I totally was content with the Valraven portion, and then honestly, after doing the rest of the tour, that was not even close to the highlight.
Did you go in the dragster motor room?
No.
No, they said that's off limits.
Lame. $200. I want dragster.
Well, but we did get to, and this goes sound really, really stupid. And I told Kenny this while we were doing the tour. Like, we literally got to stand right under the tower for dragster, like right underneath it while it's launching. Even our tour guy was like, "We probably should have hard hats on." And I I just kept thinking of like Zumajaro. I was like, well, they don't even let their ride operate when we're standing literally where that ride is. And like I stood 20 feet off to the side behind the fence and looked at the tower. But sounds stupid, but standing on railing at a tower, it looked 100 times bigger. It was crazy standing right there.
It's a hell of a lot different. And then walking over by Millennium Force, it was pretty cool to go under the station while it was loading and sending trains off. Unfortunately, Millennium broke down during that portion.
Literally, and when we got there.
No goddamn surprise there, but yeah, Millennium broke down, and which sucked because they were gonna take us right under the lift hill, and you'd get to see the cable in action and all that. But and then they take you over by Maverick, and you're standing right at the end of the tunnel as they're launching these goddamn things out of the tunnel. Like, there's no way portions of this tour would have been safe by like any sort of regulations, but there's just some really cool moments of the tour, and then they kind of finish it off, taking you up and letting you jump on whatever row you want to jump on Maverick. So
it sounds like if the tour was run by Drew the intern,
right?
The park, just go do whatever you want.
Essentially, yes.
Yeah.
And 200, and you give us 100 of it.
Well, and one of the cool things too was, again, like I think if you've never been to Cedar Point, or you might not appreciate it, but going there all the time as a kid, like getting to walk on Millennium Forces Island. I know you can now do it for the Dinosaur Alive thing, but the guy's like, let's go behind the secret gate, and like we walked right under that big third hill and walked through like the boneyard where they had like a mantis train. They had a paddle wheel boat, like a bunch of old ride cars just sitting there. Like that was pretty cool, like stuff that you normally you wouldn't get to see. Or we walked by like the Boneville stuff that's on the side of the train, so we got to like take some photos with those guys like are trying to the skeletons are trying to put out the fire and stuff. Like for me, like that was my childhood growing up. I loved seeing that, so it was really cool to like see that up close.
Awesome, very cool.
I mean,
I definitely think this is something that me and my wife will do in August when we go up to Cedar Point. So I think it'd be worth it. Doing it.
I mean, if you only go once a year, and you've been so many times, and that's how I feel. Like I've gone so many times, I've been there, done it all. Like I wanted to try something different with the park, and it was definitely different. It's a high price tag, but when you look at it, you're like, Fastlane's $100 for the day. I figured out Fastlane's $100. Cost of a couple meals is $30-$40 right there. You do get your free on-ride photos all day. That's another couple $30-$40 right there. I mean, once you start pricing out, it isn't as bad as it sounds if you're already going to do Fastlane or get the on-ride photos and stuff.
I honest to God, I really thought it was a good value.
Yeah.
And what I'm getting out of this conversation is Busch Gardens apparently is a really good value. So if you're going to Busch Gardens, obviously do the VIP tour, because sorry, go ahead.
Well, I just always thought that Busch Gardens reasonably prices pretty much everything in their park.
Oh,
when I'm there, I don't
tours
feel
are super cheap. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to defend the $200 price tag. Again, that's if you've got the Platinum Pass. So $250, I mean, whatever. That's
it's like, but if you don't have that season pass, basically you're looking at like $400.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I really thought, especially like Andrew was saying, if you're like a lifelong fan of Cedar Point and you've never done any like behind the scene access stuff, like it's just neat, and it's a different way to go about it. They give you it was about a 4.5, almost 5 hour tour. You mentioned it before, Andrew. They gave us breakfast. They gave us a voucher to go to lunch. We ended up going over to Pink's and getting hot dogs for lunch. They gave us 2 fast lanes, one fast lane plus to use after that. During the tour, obviously you get to ride on Valraven before the park opens after you stand on top of it, and then you end it off with a ride with no wait on Maverick. And it's just, the pictures, but it's just the cool, like, and let me say this, Dustin, was his name Dustin?
Yeah, Dustin, yeah.
That dude was incredibly knowledgeable. Like,
he knew everything.
Yeah, like for me, somebody who's not like, I love roller coasters, obviously. I'm doing a goddamn podcast about roller coasters, but like I don't know a lot of the technical stuff. I've never really worked at a theme park or anything like that, so I learned so much. It was insane.
But and like the best part about him too was like it wasn't like just like Coaster Boy, picturing Coaster Boy from Coaster Radio, like spitting out all these facts. Like this guy was like super down to earth. and he like talked about it in like an educational way, not like, hey, I know all these details. And like after he kind of found out me and Kenny were like coaster nerds, he was like talking to us about Lightning Rod and like some of the other coasters he's been on. So like he would really do a good job of being like personable and like you were kind of really catering the tour to us. So.
Yeah.
See, when I went on it at Busch Gardens, the girl would be like, "Oh, here's a fact about Loch Ness Monster," and we had that guy in our group who was like, "Excuse me, you're incorrect," and would like correct her. So that guy was. I don't know if you had anybody like that, but he pretty much ruined the tour.
No.
My tour, I just remember them down at the Loch Ness Monster because they would spit out their random facts, and they said, "Do you know what the first steel coaster was?" And I was like, "Oh, that's me." But no, the one fact that they said during the whole tour that I actually did not know, and it blew my mind, was that, and at the time, Big Bad Wolf was still there. Big Bad Wolf and Loch Ness Monster were welded together and not bolted together. And when they told me that, it was like, well, that makes so much. That's why Big Bad Wolf can't be moved anywhere, because it's welded together. It's one big giant steel piece there that they can't move.
Yeah, that stuff alone, like that kind of stuff, is just so worth taking the tour for. I mean, I know, like I've heard people talk about the Griffin.
I don't know if it's worth paying $200.
But I'll tell you, probably the highlight of the $200 tour was so we were on Valraven. We're waiting to get on. They're finished up the morning test runs, and they have all the water dummies on. And I mean, they have like 25, 30 water dummies. I'm sure someone in the chat will correct me how many seats that ride holds, but every seat has a water dummy. And I asked a stupid question like, how do you get rid of them? They're like, oh, we just open them up and let it like pee out on itself, like the water just dumps out on the ground. And then like this is literally at like 9:01, so the park just opened, everyone's running there, and they're like going around like crazy to figure out how to get all these water dummies off. So they get them off, we go ride, we come back, we walk down, and all of a sudden we see the elevator, like this accessible elevator, open, and there's like 30 water dummies in there, and this guy like is trying to hold them up, and he just like falls out, and all these water dummies fall out on top of him. It's
Sadly,
like, oh, that's how they get them down.
Sadly, I did not have the camera running because it was one of the funniest things I've seen in a long time. He literally was just like packed into this elevator with all these water dummies, and as soon as the door opened, just poured out everything. It was hilarious.
Me being there, if I wasn't rolling, I'd be like, oh, whoa, we got to do that again. Hold on.
Get back in.
All right, we are running short on time. We still have other videos we got to get to. Very cool stuff, though. Like I said, I'm going to probably do the tour next time I go up there, so I think it'd be...
And I've never been to Busch Gardens, so when I go, I'm absolutely doing that tour.
I need to do the tour at Busch Gardens again, because last time I did it, we got rained out for the Griffin Walk. So we did the whole tour, and then a thunderstorm rolled through at like 8 o'clock in the morning, which...
That's why you need to do it first. You need to do it first.
Have you done it since Verbolten was built?
I have not. No.
It is the biggest blue ball ever, because they're like, all right, everybody, get ready for Verbolten. It's really exclusive. Please don't take any photos. It's going to be amazing. Just keep your hand on the guardrail. And you walk in.
You can't see anything.
You can't see shit. It's pitch black in there.
They don't turn on the lights?
No, it's because the coaster's actually running for the public. So I've done the Verbolten tour where they take you in there and you're just sitting there going, I can't see a damn thing. And then you just hear a train like whiz by. You go, oh, well, that was the train. I don't know.
Reese, I have only one question, Reese. How do you know what blue balls are? How old are you?
I looked it up. Clark Duke's 31, so.
Big words coming from The Situation, a man that knows a lot about blue balls.
Oh, God. Wow.
Speaking of blue balls.
Pull up a video or something. My God.
Checking in from Knott's Berry Farm. Let's go check out the video of Lucas at Knott's Berry Farm. Very short video, but here we go. We paused so long that now my video software is taking a minute here. We're getting there, though. Don't forget, shoot your video, upload it. Here we go.
Through this Ghost Rider, and I kind of have to say that was awesome. Like so much airtime. They didn't even remove some of the banking, did a lot of lateral forces, but just want to say, Adam House, you're my personal hero now, because this is amazing.
Personal hero, Adam House. I don't think there's an episode that Adam House does not get mentioned in. That was Lucas checking in from Knott's Berry Farm, showing off the new Ghost Rider. And if you want to share your videos, all you got to do is shoot them, upload them to Google Drive, and share the link with clintnovak@gmail.com.
That's good stuff. I've never made it a secret. I'm a huge GCI fan. That was probably the ride I was most excited about for this year was the GCI redo of Ghost Rider.
It looks awesome, too.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah. I once went in a hot tub with Adam.
Dead ass.
Oh, boy.
Is Adam on the podcast right now? He's just not saying anything? I know that's usually how it went.
You know what? Let's see if he's on Skype. We'll just dial him in.
It's probably like 9 o'clock in the morning in China or wherever he's building his new coasters.
I think he's back. I think he's home. I'm just gonna send him a text message that says Skyline sucks and see what happens.
When you would podcast with Adam, Adam would just be
right. The chili or the other Skyline?
Sky. I didn't even think about that.
You can play that both ways.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, should I just leave it open and see what
kind of insight you could get?
Those don't know that inside joke. A lot of the people who used to, and I'm pretty sure. I mean, I think Adam would probably agree with this. He probably would not be where he is today.
Yeah, it's probably.
And all those guys didn't go over and start Skyline, but he. Yeah, I'm just gonna. Okay, I'm putting a Skyline chili because I don't have the balls.
Skyline chili does suck.
I know, it does.
It's awful.
It does.
I hate that shit. No good.
Look, that was I thought I got a text message back, but it was just my phone saying the battery's low. Okay, so that was freaking quick. He was on top of that. All right, let's check out Carter checking in from Universal Studios Hollywood, where he is at the I believe it's the Wizarding World of Harry Potter.
What is going on in the loop on Air fans? This is Carter checking in from Harry Potter again. And now Kennedy. Now this is my friend Kennedy.
Hello.
This is Jacob. This is West. This is Hippogriff. This is a castle.
Wait.
And I wanted to ask you guys, what do you guys think go out in the next 5 years? It's rumors right now that Screamscape is reporting that we have a Secret Life of Pets ride coming. Diagon Harry Potter expansion, Nintendo Land, and a lot more. So,
Attack on Titan.
No.
That's in Japan. That's in Japan, sorry.
Oh, okay. But anyway, this has been Carter from Universal Studios Hollywood. Carter again, and we'll see you on the Midway.
Oh, taking my tagline. I love it. That is Carter checking in from Universal Studios Hollywood, and he's posing a question for us while there. First of all, I have to say, my favorite time to go to Harry Potter is at night. I absolutely love Harry Potter Wizarding World or Diagon Alley at night. It's just amazing.
It's incredible.
Whole new look to the place. So, yeah, man. When we're I don't know much about Hollywood. I don't pay attention to Hollywood because I've never been to Universal Studios Hollywood.
Same here. Never been there.
But when we're talking Universal Studios, I get excited. Because there's so much stuff happening. We got the new Hulk opening up soon. We just had is Kong open now or is it still in?
It depends on the day. We were there yesterday and it never opened. We got on the ride last week. It was only open for a couple hours. So it depends on the day, the alignment of the planets. It's anyone's guess.
But they haven't done a grand opening yet.
No. So I think that's twofold from what I've heard through the grapevine. Is one, the ride's just not there to hold a grand opening yet, and two, after the kind of the events, tragic events that happened here about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, all the parks kind of put a pause on their media days. Especially Disney. I mean, Disney's had a lot of issues in the last couple of weeks too. So, it's just really hard to kind of celebrate with all the media and have them only focus on that story. So, I heard from a couple people that new ride openings, like media days and stuff, will be postponed till later in the summer. So.
And that's fine. They really don't.
Yeah.
They really don't need the extra media of a media.
No. As long as the bloggers are talking about it. I mean, there's billboards everywhere you look around town. It's Kong or Mako or Frozen. Yeah. So.
Yeah, so that's the right move, I believe, in all the parks cases. So, But yeah, I get really excited about Universal Studios. They have such a bright future. We got that third gate possibly coming soon. All the zoning and land. It's just, where are we going to be? Maybe 5 years is probably not realistic for a new park. So maybe 10 years from now, what's Florida going to be like?
It's going to be awesome. You're forgetting that the Volcano Bay opens next year, and they're building that as their third park. Like, they're saying this is our third theme park because they said it'll be so themed that it'll be like a third park. So you almost could say a fourth park. And with the way they build stuff, I mean, we saw Transformers go up in like 6-7 months, and even Kong's only been under construction for like a year or so. So, I mean, I say with Disney, it'd take them 20 years to build the parking lot for a new park, but for a new theme park, Universal, I mean, I could see that in probably 4 or 5 years. Yeah, it's crazy.
And I just think Orlando as a whole, like I was saying, and you wonder where SeaWorld's going to be 5 years from now, if it's going to exist in its current state, if it's going to be a different kind of theme park, what kind of transitions that's going to take. And
as long as it's still there on this Sunday, because I'm going Sunday.
Sunday.
It's all that matters, as long as it makes it till this Sunday.
Mako's been running fine. I see it every day.
Well, I mean, what do you think? Do you think SeaWorld is going to be around like that, or do you think it's going to, phase out, their animals? And it's funny because so many people are complaining about those animals, but they're not complaining about like animals like at Busch Gardens, Tampa,
or at Disney right up the road. I mean, Disney has all the dolphins and stuff.
Exactly. So, it seems like they're just fighting SeaWorld with the big whales and dolphins and stuff like that. So will we see, is it still going to be a marine park, or is it going to focus more on being a zoological park, or is it just going to go back into rides? Like, what do you guys think?
I will just say that I absolutely love SeaWorld Orlando. I have no problems with anything they do. And I just want to say that I don't know what's going on with the marketing in this company, but from what I have seen, the marketing for SeaWorld Orlando is so god awful. I mean, they just like, they've been promoting that stupid post about how they're removing the killer whales for months, and it just doesn't make sense to me, because who's that going to draw to the park?
Exactly.
Pissed off the fans, and I think this may have been a quote from you, Clint. The fans are pissed off, and then the activists say it's not enough. So no one is satisfied, and it's a stupid angle to take your marketing in.
Well, so that's the thing. Like, you go on their Facebook or on their Twitter, 9 out of the 10 posts are about how, don't worry, we're doing good, we're saving animals, we're freeing whales, all this stuff. And then like one post is about Mako, where it's like, no wonder why no one's coming to your park. Like, you just opened this $25 million ride or something. You should be talking that up. That should be every other post.
Well, not only that, and when you're taking the marketing approach of you're going to phase out the killer whales, but most people don't realize that that's going to happen, but not until they die off, and that's going to take forever.
Yeah.
People are going to start showing up, and they're like, hey, these damn whales are still here.
Still here. They were here 10 years ago. Look good.
So, yeah, I saw in the comments, Caleb, and I agree with him. I think they would be best going in the future, just going to be like the roller coaster park of Orlando. Like, go for that thrill park angle, and just.
They already got 3 incredible coasters.
Right.
So.
That's a horrible idea, because that would put everything that's good about SeaWorld Orlando away from it. I loved this aquatics aspect of that park, and if it was a roller coaster park, I wouldn't bother going there. I would spend my money at Universal Orlando or Disney. Why
don't you just get in your hot tub and go to the future and tell us?
Wow.
Wow. What an argument there, Andrew. Good job.
If SeaWorld Orlando were solely a roller coaster park, I wouldn't go there. I wouldn't spend any of my money there.
Reese, I think you just got owned, so I think your argument's invalid.
But Reese, what if you meet like halfway? Like, Manta is like a nice like aquarium / coaster. Say like all their rides kind of was that Manta approach.
So they kept the marine feel, but they got rid of the big shows.
The problem is 2 of the rides are B&M coasters, so he automatically hates them.
I do hate B&M coasters.
That's what's going on.
I don't think they're doing anything. It's just my opinion. I don't think they're doing anything wrong in the park. They need to completely overhaul how they're doing their marketing, and I just don't know who's running the marketing team there. But nothing they do makes sense to me. And I'm not a marketing expert. I'm just saying this based on a fan of the park. It's abysmal to me.
I was saying it years ago when Blackfish first came out and they started their fall from grace. I was saying it's stupid to hold on to Shamu as an IP or as a mascot of the park when that is the thing that they hate the most. And you have the Sesame Street characters, and you have all of this opportunity that you could go a different direction with the branding of the park and still keep it a marine style park. Go a different direction with it. They're educational. They love being educational. Market it as that, as an educational experience with coasters and stuff. But. Yeah, I agree with Reese. I think they're just heading in the wrong direction, and that we're kind of getting sidetracked on that whole thing. We're going back to the Universal stuff. Cannot wait to see what Universal has in store for us. They have so many good IPs that they get to cling on to. Nintendo, we're going to see something with Nintendo in the future in Florida. Secret Life of Pets we're talking about. I haven't seen the movie yet, but the previews look hilarious. I love the idea.
Yeah, it looks like a solid movie. Slop, as it's referred to as.
And there's other movies that were great successes that we still haven't seen anything, and there's been rumors for years about, like Lorax and things like that.
Or Lord of the Rings and
Lord of the Rings. Oh my God, yes. I really think that Lord of the Rings is probably past its prime. At this point, and Harry Potter, I guess you could say, because you could still see it has a huge fan base, but obviously they're not popping, new movies out and stuff like that like crazy. But you know what I think would be amazing, and I don't know how they would do it. Again, if they did it Lord of the Rings, they could do it this: Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones. I know it's a little risque and stuff, but I still think they could pull it off.
But Universal has always kind of been on that edge. They like to teeter on the edge of risque and, kind of that PG-13 line.
God, Boobs and Dragons theme park, I would be there.
Volcano Bay is going to have tons of boobs.
They've already got their boobs park. Awesome.
To tie the two together real quick, it'll be interesting, like you said, where will SeaWorld be in 5-10 years, because the new land where this park, this potential third gate would be for Universal, is like a stone throw from SeaWorld. Like I went to college right next to where the site is, and you can see SeaWorld clearly from that. So there's going to be some spots in the park where you could probably see SeaWorld. Like we're talking a half mile away. So they're literally going to be on SeaWorld's doorstep with this park. So it'll be interesting to see what happens.
And iDrive has already turned around in the last 5-10 years, because 30 years ago it was a very popular place. Then it died down to the crazy, stupid, blood-stained hotel rooms that were super cheap, and now it's kind of being revived with the convention center being there, and now all these new things like Polo Coaster possibly still coming, the Orlando Eye, and all these roadside attractions. And Universal, SeaWorld are on both ends of that spectrum, and then they're going to plop right in the middle, and it's only going to help. Everything right there is just going to keep booming, and it's going to take.
What I want to say, in relation to what Andrew just said about SeaWorld and the other park across the street, and you talk about that like that's such a radical idea of two parks being right across the street, but we've actually already seen that. What I'm speaking about is of course, Central Park Funland and Chuck E. Cheese. And the way
right across. I'm like, where is he going with this? Because 12 parks in Orlando, and if he's saying one more park, he's going to tip the scale.
That's it. I have nothing else to say.
Nothing else. All right, we got some more videos, and we're way over our time. Actually, no, I think we only have one more. We got Chad checking in from. You know what? We're gonna play that at the end of the show. It's a little bit of a long video, and it's kind of showing off Six Flags Over Texas. So we'll play that as our outro for the show today. If you guys want to check out some sites from Six Flags Over Texas. All right, so I guess that pretty much wraps up the show. You guys have anything else you want to talk about before we head out?
A little bit from Jason Balinskis.
I am a little upset with you, Reese, because I have 3 days off, which never happens. My wife, I said I'm going to do a coastal trip. I'm going without you. I'm going to go get some parks. She gave me the restriction. I can't go to any Cedar Fair parks.
Hold on. So is she going? Is Sherry going?
No. She's not. now I'm going by myself because you ditched me. So
Right. Okay. Look, this is. Let me explain what
over here. Okay.
Let me explain to the viewers what is going on. I was in the impression it was going to be me, you, and Sherry, which I was fine with. But which I mean, I'd be the third wheel, but who cares? I'm always the third wheel. What I want to say. So I've been talking with Clint about this coaster trip this week, about going to Six Flags America and Six Flags Great Adventure, and I was so down to do it. And I'm at King's Dominion today, and I'm just thinking about it, and I'm like, is this a good idea? Like, it's going to be a bunch of money and all this.
You overthink everything. You overthink everything.
You're exactly right, but I'm in this state of mind where I'm like, I want to go, but I just don't know if I should, because I have to be at work on Friday, and I have restricted funds. I'm gonna have to ask my dad for money, which is always awkward because So
I'm not gonna give you money.
All right, look, hold on. We'll discuss this a little bit after the show.
Reese, just bring your dad in right now. I will ask him for you.
I'm not gonna do it.
Bring your dad in. I'm gonna sit him down in your chair. I want to have a conversation with him. Let's make this happen.
You actually want me to do it?
Do it.
Oh boy.
He called my bluff. I was like, oh, wait a minute, maybe not. Anyways.
I'll do it. No. Okay. Well, we'll talk about it more after the show. I'm not completely opposed. We'll debate about it afterwards, on that, so we can figure out exactly what we're going to do. But, yeah, I'm not. We can still do something. I just don't know what we're going to do. So
I've already made my plans without you. You've said, no, I'm not going to do it, and I've gone forward with my plans. Me and Jason are getting ready. We're going to hang out a little bit. I'm going to come up to New Jersey. We're going to do up Six Flags Great Adventure. Going to do some videos for the site. And I'm going to hit up Six Flags America on the way because, you got to do both parks, right?
No comment. I want to go.
So, Six Flags America doesn't have a B&M.
First of all, you haven't done Six Flags America, so you get a chance to do that.
Hold on, I'm confused.
You get a chance to do Six Flags Great Adventure properly because we spent 90% of the time waiting for.
I cannot tell right now if you want me to go or not.
We do. The answer is yes, we do.
Because you're halfway like, oh, Reese, what's going on? You're not going, and then you're like, well, I've made the plans without you now. Sorry, bud. I'm
going by myself, Reese. At any time between now and Wednesday morning, you could say, Clint, I'm going, or Clint, I'm not going. I don't care. Either way, I'm going.
All right. We will discuss this more after the show.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. We are going to discuss this more after the show.
Can I also be included in this discussion? Because I'm part of it.
Of course you can be included.
I forgot Jason Belinskas was even here.
Ariel will meet us at the park. I'm sure we could get Andrew and Adam to meet us at the park. I love those guys. They're up in that area.
Those are the guys from Coaster Radio?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, they're nice. They're nice guys.
I like to think of them as the guys from In the Loop, but okay. Great. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
At this point, I'm about to go over to Coaster Radio. Mike and EB, if you're watching.
I've tried that. I've said, hey, Mike and EB, I'm done with these In the Loop guys. I'm ready to come over, and they shot me down. They said,
I remember with Clint. This was like a long time ago. So I know you didn't Mike like actually fill in on In the Loop for like a couple of months, like back in the day.
Yes. So it was.
Then you made the soundboard, but like I remember that was great because it was Mike Collins talking theme parks, but like dropping swear words and get all crazy
on the show. He could swear.
Yeah.
A little
bit.
It
was awesome.
Yeah, it was because the whole thing, like Eric Yates was one of our co-hosts at the time. Now Eric runs Behind the Thrills, which I was just reading an article today about Aerosmith breaking up. I didn't know about that. Read it through Behind the Thrills. So, anyways, he went over to do Behind the Thrills, but he took a break from the show. And we're like, well, Mike, you want to fill in for Eric while he's taking a break from the show? And then Eric got upset because he thought we replaced him with Mike. And I was like, no, Mike is doing like 1 month and he's done. And so then Mike stayed on for 2 months, and then he's like, guys, I can't do it anymore. I got my own show. That's it. And so I think at that point we lost him, and God, it was crazy. At that time we were switching co-hosts so often because we had a guy named Pat who then left the show, and then TL came on, and then shortly after TL came on, we got rid of TL, and then Legend came on, so it was crazy.
And then tonight you needed to fill in, and you got us assholes. You couldn't have brought on Mike Collins or something. You had to bring in these jokers.
Yeah. He reached out to Mike first, and Mike said no. So then he...
If Mike Collins was on this show, I'd be too nervous to get on here. I would have to watch.
Really?
Wow.
That sounds like a challenge. I'm gonna get Mike to come on the show just so we can see.
Yeah, I actually don't even know. I used to listen to Coast Radio all the time. I kind of stopped. I honestly stopped listening to In the Loop too. I do not.
Man.
In the Loop.
Wow.
I stopped.
He's going to get sent down to the minors here.
I love Legend and Brew. I mean, you're kind of the odd man out. Just kidding. I love all three of you in the Loop, but I just don't listen anymore. I need to start listening again.
Jason, you know what we need to do? I don't know if we have the power to do this. We're gonna have to contact Six Flags Great Adventure and see if Thursday we can get a ride on Zumanjaro where we film Reese on it if he comes.
If I go.
Yeah, if he goes, if there's a way we could pull that off, I think that would be pretty.
Send some emails.
Send some emails.
Start
sending emails. I'm gonna go crazy.
I love how Ranger just piped in the comments. This is the miners. That's very cool.
We're talking. We're AAA here, I think. I mean, he'd be sent down to single A.
I think there's still a couple levels above us.
I actually do have a contact with Six Flags, Gene Petriello. I will contact him and see what we can do.
What? You're going to contact
Name drop.
I have no contact with Gene Petriello. That was a joke. I have no way to contact that man. He denied my friend request.
He denied your friend request.
I swear to God, I added him. He didn't accept me.
Huh. I don't blame him. All right, I think that does it for the show. I think we've been off topic for an hour of it. We played 20 minutes worth of fan videos. We still have Chad's video, but we're going to go ahead and sign off. Thank you guys very much. Andrew, it was a pleasure having you on the show.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Anytime, you're welcome to come back and watch videos with us and have some fun.
I'll be here in the minor leagues. Just let me know when you need to call up. So.
And unfortunately, this is Kenny's last show here at In the Loop.
You said that last time.
Yeah.
You said that last time, but you just couldn't stay away from it.
Because there's always going to be that one day where I'm like, crap, I need fillers.
I mean, I got shit I'd rather be getting done right now, but you begged me to come back on. Because you needed a fill-in.
Dedication.
And then, of course, Jason, who's over there as well. Jason, thanks for coming on the show.
I'm basically on the show every week, just not. You don't see me all the time.
I know. And you're here every week, and you're in the chat room, and you're saying inappropriate things to Alyssa. It's
me. You have the wrong Jason.
Yeah, I have the wrong Jason. Okay.
Are we sure that Alyssa isn't right off the frame, like holding hands with?
We're not discussing that.
Oh, have you noticed his left arm has been off camera like that in a weird position? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that's it. All right, guys. Thank you guys very much for listening to the show. Unfortunately, the very antiquated piece of equipment that plays our closing music didn't charge properly, so I don't have a way to do some close music. But
amateur hour.
I got you.
No, we're done. We're done.
My
God! All right. Thank you guys very much. This last video is from Chad over at Six Flags over Texas. See you guys on the midway. See ya. Oh, and there's no audio for this either, so it's audio.
Are we still live, for God's sake?
We're still live.
Jesus.
I've already tuned over to Coastal Radio. I'm not.
Just checking out some Six Flags over Texas here, and we could talk all you want because, like I said, I forgot that he didn't.
No, the show isn't actually over. We're still going.
We're going. Yeah, I don't know what the hell we're talking about.
I love this footage here of the new Texas Giants.
Is this a fan video?
Yes. It's a park promo video.
Did his camera not have a microphone, or did he cut out all of the audio?
I just think he didn't. Maybe he's shy. Shy people can send in videos too.
What is video?
I love this.
Can we see that in the top right?
No,
hold on. For this guy to send in a video, but how disrespectful.
Ariel would love that.
He makes us do the commentary.
I love that Windseeker ride.
That's what I was trying to say, but everybody kept talking over me. Thank you, Jason.
WeVideo is a powerful yet easy-to-use cloud-based collaborative video creation platform.
I'm still trying to figure out why we did an outro, and now we're just dragging this guy's video through the mud. If this guy's watching, I apologize on behalf of these
Riding
guys.
Batman the Ride. Batman the Ride is an abomination. I rode Batman the Ride at Six Flags Great Adventure and hated it.
Batman the Ride was my very first inverted coaster at the Chicago Six Flags.
I think my first was it. If you count Big Bad Wolf, it was Big Bad Wolf. But I don't know. It might have been
suspended, not inverted. Come on, there, Reese.
I think it was Volcano. I think Volcano was my first invert.
What kind of Doritos are those?
These are Supreme Cheddar Doritos. So, fun fact about these: I was going through Costco. With my dad.
Yeah, I was there.
We went over to the frozen food section because I wanted to get some free samples, and it was too late, and they'd already closed up all the sample booths. And I saw this giant-ass bag of Doritos, this flavor I've never even heard of, called Supreme Cheddar. So I went ahead and bought the Doritos, and this is a monster bag. I mean, I'm talking, this is a monster bag. So then, later that night, just a note.
This poor guy's video is still playing.
He was waiting all night to see his video.
No, that's the ride that I want. No, stop. This is the ride that I want at Central Park Funland. Look at this shit. This is what I want. Look at this thing. This is.
I would watch your tone before Chuck E. Cheese buys it first.
No, I want that.
Is that the new Enterprise ride?
No, this is the one from Zimperla. Oh man, I want that ride.
Yeah, so I'm disgusted when people put their hands in a bag of chips that I then eat after. So my dad was carrying the bag of Doritos up the stairs.
You know what? I would love to sit here and listen to this, but I've got to go, guys. I've got to go. You know what? You're disrespecting this guy's video.
I'm sorry.
He's just talking chips.
You asked him about the chips. You asked.
I didn't think he was just gonna go on a tangent, for God's sake.
Stay tuned next week for the conclusion to this Dorito story.
I'm not gonna be here. I won't be a part of it.
I want to. Speaking about the video,
I can't believe we're still live and this guy's video is still playing.
The world's going crazy.
Who's still watching this?
Look at this world.
I turned my chat off because I thought we were done.
Oh, there's some girl in the chat that says Kenny is sexy.
Is it Reese's mom?
He just posted. Below the belt. Below the belt.
I don't see
going on outside. Randall's dogs are going crazy. I still have 2 more minutes of this video.
I don't see Kenny is sexy anywhere.
Oh no, the MILF 365 posted.
I don't see MILF.
I can't see it. I turned my chat off. I honestly thought we were done.
She posted her phone number and said give her a call, but it's lost. I can't see it anymore.
Oh, come on.
Oh wait, this is Justice League?
That was, I think.
Oh, I'm watching it. It's low on the other side. There's a lag.
Oh, there was. Yeah, that's a lag. That was a kid getting wet there.
Hopefully, it wasn't MILF 365.
So, Great Adventure used to have one of these rides back in the day, and I really miss it. Sombrero rides, fantastic rides.
Sombrero rides, plural.
Yeah.
Great Adventure had multiple rides themed to sombreros.
That might even be the same ride. I don't even know.
That is actually pretty impressive.
That was a crazy queue for a sombrero ride.
I can't believe we just got a shot of the queue line of the sombrero ride.
Yeah, adios. He didn't get the ride, but
that would have been a great way to end it. Adios.
Yeah.
All right, that's the way we got to end it. I got a thunderstorm coming in. I got to go get the dogs.
I was going to say, do I need to turn the chat back on? How much longer are we going to go?
Disrespectful. This man opened up WeVideo, took the time to edit this all together in WeVideo. We're not even going to finish it?
Wait, there's another minute left. I got to go.
60 seconds? What is that for this man's hard, devoted time editing this
crazy.
video
They're
together?
scared. They're scared little puppies outside.
Isn't that Randall's dog? Who cares about Randall's animals? Like
I care about the neighbors. I feel like the neighbors are going to yell at me.
Who cares? This is America, okay? They can call the cops if they want to call the cops. This man is a fan of the show.
Okay, we got 30 seconds left.
I'm just saying, you can go ahead and go. I don't care.
No.
I don't care at all. I don't even know who submitted this video.
Chad. Chad submitted this video.
Who is that? Chad?
Chad is Chad.
Chad? Should I know who that is?
No, I don't know.
Oh.
Now it's pouring rain. Now I got to go get the dogs in the rain. Thanks a lot, Reese.
Chad, thank you for the submission.